Good morning to one and all present here, respected Professor in charge, sir, all my colleagues and the participants. Today we have with us Professor Sanjay Paswan from Patna University. Sir has served the nation as the Central Minister in Ministry of Human Resource Development and the Ministry of Social Justice in the year of 2004. Currently, Sir is the member of Bihar Legislative Council and also the member of ICPR, that is the Indian Council for Philosophical Research. Currently, Sir is also the President nominee in Executive Council of Delhi University. Till date, Sir has authored 17 books in different areas like Social Face of Indian Parliament and Dalit Encyclopedia in India. Now, I would like to request our Professor in charge, Sir, to welcome our guest.
Very good morning to all of you.
Good morning, dear.
We are very fortunate that Professor Sanjay Paswan is with us today and going to address on an extremely important topic, which is pandemic and human rights. Friends, as you know, that the whole world is passing through a very critical situation. We are facing a pandemic, a worldwide pandemic, and the scientists all over the world are searching for a possible vaccine or a possible cure for it. But lakhs and lakhs of people worldwide have been impacted, have been deceased, there are so many people who have died, and it has come to be the biggest challenge that humanity has ever seen in the last 100 years or so, or even more. So in the midst of this, what is the position of human rights? We have seen in our country particularly some thousands and lakhs of people who are stranded, who are workers who are coming from one state, and interstate migration is there. People are, so many people, even the test of COVID costed quite a sum of money, and the Supreme Court of India had to overzealously intervene and then to make the test free, but then later on, because it was not workable, they amended their own judgment. So these are the critical times, and we are extremely thankful to Professor Sanjay Paswan for agreeing to deliver a special talk on the human rights dimensions of this pandemic. So it's my proud privilege, sir, to welcome you. And if we would have invited you, then we would have welcomed you with flowers. But now it is my privilege to welcome you with these few words. Thank you so much, and over to you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. At the very outset, let me accept and confess that now this is this technique or this tool, this mode of learning and teaching is going to be it's a routine matter now, routine affair. So we'll have to live in this way, that without exchanging flowers, we can exchange the good words with each other. So that opportunity we people have given, really it's a pleasant moment for me when totally I am being hijacked by this COVID-19 at my home. And really after marriage, this is 32 years, so long period with my spouse, really it's very much surprising and very much soothing also as well. Rightly you just told that this is going to change the entire paradigm shift, post pandemic and pre-pandemic, you can say. These two hiatus will be there, a huge hiatus will be there. Especially, I would like to consider here the first time, this migrant labor issue has come in the forefront. Up till now, migrant labor was not in the mainstream. So, as a labor scientist or as a labor study, as a labor researcher, let me accept this and acknowledge that let us be thankful to this Corona and COVID-19, that this labor, the migrant labor issue has become totally the main issue, the mainstream issue for everyone, not only the stakeholders, but for everyone it is a big issue now. So see, whether migrant, they are the foreign migrants or the interstate migrants or the interdistrict migrants. You know, there are different type of migrant labor all over in the world, and they are paying, you can say, huge, huge contribution to the exchequer of their family as well as to the state and to the concerned region also. Now, you know, in our state, some districts are known as the money order economy districts. In our state, there are 4 and 5 districts. One is the Sivan. Sivan happens to be the highest money order receiving districts of the world. And there are 4 and 5 districts more in the North Bihar. They have been getting all these. They are the most largest recipients of the money order flow of money. And now see what things are changing. You see, people are coming in the ambulances. I myself found a set of group of 5 people came to Patna, nearby Patna from Chennai by paying 2 lakh rupees to ambulance. And not because they were sick or ill, but they have that emotional connect. They want to come to their hometown as soon as possible. That's why almost 8 people gave 2 lakh rupees to an ambulance owner or ambulance driver from Chennai to carry them to the Bihar. So this is the position. Now, yes, three days back, I saw some concrete mixing machines were carrying the 40 people, and the people who were coming out that machine by churn. It was a really very much pathetic scene, and very much, you can say, that scene was so much inhuman scene, you can say. So I'll say you, and you people are the legal luminaries of in India, that the most human rights are concerned. Certainly, this working class, you can say, these migrant laborers, they have faced all sort of the worst wrath of this COVID-19, worst wrath. Rather, you should say that pre-lockdown and the post-lockdown stage. That's a different study which is to be studied in a way, in a proper manner. That whether people should have been given some 3 and 4 days before lockdown, or whatever our Prime Minister did, it was right or wrong. It is a question of further evaluations and further examinations to what should have been done. Because after all, our Prime Minister decided that our people lives are to be saved first, and then there are the livelihoods. So they understood like that. So I can well understand, as a guardian of the country, our Prime Minister did his best to save the lives of our each and every citizen and each and every Indian. So what did they? But now we feel that no, there should have been given some chances for the laboring class, for the laborers, for the tourists, for the patients, or for anyone who wanted to have to settle in that lockdown period. At least they should have been given chance for at least 72 hours. It should have been given to them for the choice of stay in the lockdown period. So that I will say, not as a politician but as an academician, I will say you that that the first violation of human rights did happen there. On that point of view, the first violation of human rights, at least they should have been given a time, or that time at least 72 hours. Then trains, trafficking, or other transportation mode, conveyance should have been taken available facility by these people who are these days stranded. So first violation were there. Now see what is going on. Now life, of course, life has been saved, no doubt, but the pace of the life loss in India, of course, it is the lowest in the world. That we must boast of. That we must see that our political administration, political dispensation did their best. How this level of lowest death rate we could have achieved. So that we must congratulate our Modi ji and our entire systems and entire corona warriors. They could do it in a proper way. So now I would like to say the position, people started moving from 2,000 miles by foot. On foot they started. Some 100 people started on cycle. Some 100 people did manage the way, like ambulance period, that you can say that the mixing plant vehicles they did use, and still it's going on. It's not stopping. And even you see that people are, although trains have started only for these people who are stranded, especially for our workers and the students, and we are the biggest recipient. Bihar happens to be the biggest recipient of the laborers, their labor and their students also as well. So these things are happening, Now how delicately and how humanly we should deal with them, it is a big issue now. So I would like to request you all people also that certainly on opening the university and also in your issues also, this human rights issues, this migrant labor issues must be, dealt with very seriously, and very pertinently. This issue must be taken up. How their issues can be resolved in the post-pandemic phase. So that's a serious issue. Now see what is going on. Firstly, now right to food. First, right to food. Now fooding right. People, I know hundreds of people died on the way because of the hunger, hunger because of it. Secondly, 1,000 people, more than 1,000 people died because of the over-exertion on their body. That the physical exhaustion took their life. So people totally got, fainted and died on the way, and without any ceremonials, any activities, and their you can say co-passengers, you can say, or you can say their co-travelers, you can say, the co-journey person, you can say, even the family members also left the dead body at the place where they died. But nothing has happened, No physical activities took place there. So I can say these are the sick. If human right we say, one is the civic rights, other thing the economic rights, cultural rights, social rights, if not political rights. At least these four rights, so totally they got deprived all these things. So certainly it's a point of shame for entire India. Now how fast you can do and how fast you can deliver really human rights to them. How can deliver fast? That's the course of time. Now my single say now how it can be done. Now in the world now there is a new term is coming up now. Food nationalism. Food nationalism coming up. Now in this area you can say in the world of this regional nationalism, in the world of cultural nationalism, in the world of geographical nationalism, one new term is food nationalism is going to come up now. See, now European Union has decided that they will not depend on the other country regarding food matters. They have decided. So now even India, why do India only? All the country must have their agricultural side or the agricultural sphere in their fold at their disposals. Now, in India we are now dependent for the seeds on other country. In India, we are dependent for the manures on the other country. In India, we are dependent on the disinfectants, on pesticides on other country. So this is a serious issue. Now we shall have to deal with how let us not be dependent on them and let us be resilient on our own. So post-pandemic phase is going to be really it's a serious issue which is we'll have to, and without we'll not leave the entire issues to the government only. No. And now we should admit and accept that we have done damages to the nature also, and nature is taking revenge from us. if not God, if not, you can say, not ethics or this issues, but certainly we have damaged the climate like anything. We have totally played devastations with our natural things. So that's the issue, you can say, how that natural flavor, how that natural, you can say, resurrections, how that natural rejuvenations can take place, can be brought back. It's a big issue. So that is why we'll have to depend on our own resources. We'll have to depend on our own ambiences. So naturally, certainly you people also, you'll have to go the biodiversity laws. How along with the human rights laws, how biodiversity laws, how energy laws, how agriculture related laws, how you can say these all things, how they can be regularized, how they can be adjusted, accommodated as per our demands. So friends, as a academician and as a lawyer, professors, as academics of law, it becomes your great duty how it can be well delivered to the country. So certainly social scientists have their own role, of course. Religious activists have their own role, no doubt. Politicians have their own role, no doubt. One thing, I would like to tell the people who are running administrating the government, it is not the government alone who are running this country or this world. It is a society, community who are contributing. Let us admit, let us accept, not merely government. It's the society, it's the community, it's a divinity which is saving this cosmos. We must accept it. So that is why how all the forces related to the politics, related to the religion, related to the society, and related to the industry or agriculture, how they should act, come together. Merely some section of doctors, merely some section of scientists, they have not right to hijack this universe. They have no right to hijack. Now you are already hijacked since last 2 months. So certainly there should be given space for the social scientists, for the legal experts also. How it can further advancement we can anticipate. So that's why, friends, you can say something more than that. Now still human rights means what? We have been using human rights issue only to save the offenders. These days, only offenders, criminals were being helped through the ethos of the human rights. No, these are human rights violations. This is not the way to deal with the prisoners in the prison in this way. So certainly the majority of the recipients of the human rights have been the offenders, if not the criminals. Offenders have been getting the benefit of all these things. The genuine one. So this time is now coming, how human rights, we can be legal people, how they can be savior of the human rights. So this is the proper time to come out of this lockdown and see how we can be. If there are some corona warriors, then we must be there human rights warriors also. How we can be. And first needed the working population. The labor market, what we can say, the labor market, where employment and unemployment exist, and which decides that labor market is steady, it must be the part of every social scientist now. In this labor market, how there can show the sensations, the sensibility, the vibrations of the labor market, that is deciphered in a proper manner. So it's a big issue now. Now, you can say, firstly, we'll have to deal with which one they needed first. Now, if the DJs control, certainly we must deal with the cancer patients. And rather, after that, cough syrup, after that, tuberculosis. So the first and foremost attention is needed if any one class is there, and any one class which needs more human rights, that class is none but they are the migrant laborers, whether they are of the global level, they are the national level, or they are the regional levels. So certainly we will have to see how these people can be rescued legally, can be rescued psychologically, can be rescued sociologically, can be rescued emotionally also. Now see, of here, in our state, because we are the recipient of the huge number of migrant people, now yes, now our officers, I say them, the bloody officers, they are saying, no, they should not be given entrance in the villages. At the very first, I will tell you that the very word social distancing, this word is itself an inhuman word. Physical distancing is a proper word, human word for that. So the very use of the social distancing word was quite objectionable word. So that word has made the gap and distance between the people and people, community and community, family members also. That's why they must be welcomed. So we'd like to tell you also that you should tell the people, request the people that whosoever comes in your village, who has been your villager, who has been of an area, they must be welcomed. Of course, with all protocols which have been given by the government time to time, with all health protocols that should be followed. That's why you must welcome them. Of course, welcome with following some normal steps, with following some protocols, that should be there. But they should not be stopped, prevented. Why you have come here? In our place on the railway line, dozens of people have been murdered, killed. You see, these people are infected. People are going and coming in our villages. They were going to their own village. So see this emotional, you can say, emotional strength what they are having. That's why I salute my Bihari people, especially, and Eastern people who decided to come over their villages. Our people don't go for suicides. You will see, although we people, Bihari people, are in the utmost level of poverty and pauperism, but they still don't go for the suicides. Like Maharashtra, they go for suicides. Karnataka, they go for suicides. But here, smiling poverty is there. So they know even the villages, people are not receiving them well. We are not receiving. Now they are receiving, of course. But they came to their villages with this thing in the mind that, of course, we shall get there some emotional touch, some emotional feelings with our family members. That's why, friends, I would like to tell you that this migrant labor, of course, their numbers are, of course, some of 4 crore people are the migrant. And in that 4 crore people are almost, we can say, 1 crore people are from Bihar. 1 crore. That 25% of primary. So we as a Bihari also were very much perturbed how to deal with them and how we'll go ahead of them. And we are also worried the state which they are living, the Punjab, entire agriculture dependent on the Bihari laborers. And Surat, entire textile industry is dependent on the 2 categories of laborers, Oriya labor and the Bihari laborers. And even in Mumbai, all developers and the builders have the laborers of the Odisha and the Bengal and the Bihar. So these are the things you see. So how their issues can be solved phase-wise. Certainly it will take some years. And I'm sure the people who have left the states, they will not go there for 24 months. Because I know the labor psyche. I, being a labor activist and a labor professor also, they will stay there. This stigma, not if a stigma, this jolt, this shock, they will come out of this shock after 24 months. So how they can be resent to that place, how they can be invited to that place. For that also we have to do some, some good works or some good, you can say, not a repellent, some good attractive packages should be there to bring them back to their respective states also. So certainly it's a big issue. Now, human rights, it means human rights, whenever we talk about human rights in Bihar in the present scenario, certainly migrant labor are needed and are the most, you can say, vulnerable groups who need attentions of all state sectors, of all actors, economic actors, of all social actors, and even also psychological actors also. So certainly this is a big issue, and how their grievances, how their problems can be addressed, can be redressed. We must think on that line. And I thank you people that you have considered this issue to be of utmost importance. So certainly we shall go on working on this line and this human rights issue, how by this device we can help the problems of the migrant labor. It's a big issue. Thank you very much. And let us continue our process. And somebody have, if any query, then you can, we would also like to share some feelings during the query also.
So I have one query, sir. I want to just, I want you to elaborate on the concept of food nationalism once again, sir. The concept of food nationalism, it is arising now.
Yeah. Certainly. See, first time the French, the very young Prime Minister of French, they have used this word food nationalism. And they have, and he has also advised the European Union that our farmers must be encouraged, must be helped, must be given incentive. Farmers must be incentivized. So of course it will be at the cost of the industries. But the country, you can say, now France, European Union, they happens to be the most advanced country of the world. Now they are paying attention. They are paying heed to their agricultural side. Why not India? Why not other country also? Why not America also? So now see, this secondary industry or this tertiary industry is going to play minimal role. Now primary sector is going to get the maximum role. That is why food security and food nationalism, that is why this is going to be a new term for everyone. So how this food nationalism can we country, our SAARC country, India, or this Asia continent, or the entire globe, how they can maintain, and if surplus is there, then that should be exchanged, no doubt about it. So that is why everybody will have to depend on their own climatic conditions, on their own agronomic conditions, and their own agriculture production. See, our wheat, rice is our original product. That is why चावल को इसे अक्षत कहा गया है, अक्षत, जिसकी क्षति नहीं हुई. So rice is called as the अक्षत, which has not been damaged as well. Since the universe has come up, rice is there. Gehu is totally imported grain. Our grains are the marwa, ragi, bajra, jowar. All these items are to be revived now. So because this need not much more water, this need not much more pesticide, this need not much more fertilizers. Of course, manure is needed there. So that is why our traditional way, agri system, you can say animal husbandry systems. Now see, desi guy or the videsi guy hai, different hai. The composition of their milk is also quite different. They need much more care. Our variety of cows, they don't need much more care. So now they need air conditions, they need so many things. So that is why how our original things, how our own indigenous things can we search out, can we trace them out, can we revisit them. That is why I am telling you, agriculture in our own way, in our own indigenous way, in our own national way, in our own regional way, that is call of the time. And I saw one slogan was in the, I went to the that climate change, UN climate change conference, that eat regional and eat seasonal. Now see, this is a big symbol, big message for us. Eat seasonal and eat regional. Whatever regional produce are there, that people should take. Then no disease will be there. So eat seasonal and seasonal fruits. Now see, in Delhi we see gobi, matar every month, because all these are seasonal vegetables. So eat regional and eat seasonal. That should be our, the post-COVID period, our main theme of life skill should be how we can eat regional. So that is why food nationalism is going to be a big issue now, and that food nationalism will have to go for that, not this regional nationalism, not this geographical nationalism, not this, you can say, cultural nationalism. Only food nationalism is going to be a buzzword for the decades to come. I think it's clear.
Yes, it's clear. Sir, actually, the participants cannot ask you the question directly. So, on the
Oh,
behalf of them, I'm asking you
yes, yes.
the questions here, sir.
Okay, okay,
Sir,
no
there's
problem.
one question from Sumit Yadav is there. So, he is asking, sir, if the migrant will not return to their work, then what will be the effect?
No, certainly. Let me tell you, our Bihar was having deficit of labors. So we were importing harvesting machines and other machines from Punjab, Haryana. Now, this is the peak time when wheats are being cut, being harvested. Now, this year, half machines have been utilized, and half our labor who came well in time, they took the job in their own hands. So, in that way, you can say the Bihar like a state where migrant laborers are the much more in number have come up in their villages, in their areas. So we shall have surplus labor. And I do admit that the states like Punjab, state like Rajasthan, state like Madhya Pradesh, state like Maharashtra, state like Gujarat will be suffering a lot because they are the maximum, providers. They are the most, biggest accommodators of the migrant laborers. So they will be certainly. But one thing I would like to ask from you, this platform only, that if they could have prevented them. Yeah, they could have retained. You can say if not retain, at least detain. If they could have detained such labor forces with merely why people have left, it's a big issue. Certainly, out of some emotions, commotions were there, but some problem are also there. Problem of food was there. Problem of livelihood was there. Problem of stay was there. So if they could have, I will understand that every of the employer have not that capacity, have not that much of guts that they can feed the hundred of people for the 100 of days, and they cannot keep them at their own shelter homes also. This is their big issue. But if some big houses would have come out, or with the government side also, if they would have detained or retained them, so certainly these people would not have minded it and would not have left that area. So certainly it will be a big problem. So government to government will have to work out, and also society to society will work out. Now see, people from Punjab have started to contacting me also, that Sanjay ji, see how these people can be brought back. And I appreciate the Punjabi people. I appreciate them. The Punjabi people happens to be, one of the best friends of the Bihar. They have known, they have, realized the needs, aspirations of the Bihari laborers. So very few number from Punjab, very few number of people have come up. In Punjab, migrations have been there since 80s. Our Bihar migrants first went to the Guwahati when the first train was started. From our North Bihar, first train Guwahati Lucknow was started. Then the firstly started for the Guwahati. Labor went to Guwahati. Second time when train started for the Havra, Havra means Calcutta. Then in the 50s, people went to going Guwahati. Secondly, they went to going for employment to the Havra. And thirdly, 70s, 80s, people saw that a huge upsurge was towards the Punjab state. And after 90s, people were going to the Surat, Indore, and Mumbai, etc. So I can say the Punjabi people, they understand the nuance of the Bihari laborers, how they can be retained, detained, and how they can be accommodated. So that's why now it's state to state, and now they have the choice. After and at least at least 24 a month they will not going to him. So up to 24 months they'll have to adjust. They'll have to whether they should mechanize or they should rationalize or their own labor should come up like that. So this is the things. Okay, how these people. So these labor forces, their entire trajectory of their going, coming, entire trajectory to be studied well. And certainly we shall help that. And our government is also planning, we are also planning how our labor can be persuaded to go to join there. So from your level, you should also tell those people, those employers, those potential employers also, what they can do, how they can be incentivized, how they can be invited in a proper manner, and how they can be welcomed again. So this is an issue which we should discuss. It's also an issue of human rights also, because those employers, those owners are not having also sufficient, you can say, for subsistence level, you can say. They have no sufficient strength also. There may be some 100 of the employers who may have accommodated 1,000 people, but there are not much more people. So our full sympathy is with them, and we shall certainly help how these people from the areas can be taken out and can be sent back again. We shall try our best, certainly. I think it's a 1 hour, so we should must try to say, certainly how it can be. If there are questions are there, it's okay. I would like to refer one report by the SWAN. SWAN is an organization in Mumbai. SWAN, SWAN, Stranded Workers Action Network. SWAN, Stranded Workers Action Network. This is one of the organizations which has recently, formed and are working very religiously on this issue. And they have also told when people left their workplace, then 80% of them were having less than 100 rupees. Now see their, what we'll say, see their courage, see their enterprising personality. With 100 people, with 100 rupees in their pocket, they left they decided to leave the Mumbai also, because this work is related to the confines of the Mumbai. With 100 rupees in their pocket, they decided to come to the Odisha and the Bihar. So Gajab, I would like to tell them how daring they are, how daring they are. So this SWAN is working on that, and I would like to your center also tell them, and your professor in charge is sitting before my Professor Raman is there. So certainly you should also coordinate with this SWAN organization, how their findings can be. It may be, there will be some plus minus 5% accuracy will be there. But this SWAN can coordinate with the CLC of the Delhi University. Certainly, because in time to come, we will have to work on that. After all, people need some employment. Everybody needs employment. Employment of high end, medium end, low end. So employment at all levels. Even in Delhi University, I am now, you can say, I can predicting that the vacancy of lecturers and professors, which were to be filled up in a very rapid manner, it also may be procrastinated. And also this online teaching and learning. So now people are feeling the importance of all these things. So now the employer, you can say, Vice Chancellor Sahab, and also the government also will think, no, it's online is okay. Everybody has learned to, they learn to be versed in the online teaching and learning. So why the teacher is needed now? So that's why you can say at all levels, employment at all levels, or high-end level, medium-end level, and low-end level, employment will be totally in jeopardy. So how it can be saved, how it can be sustained and contained, it's a big issue for us. Just try to cooperate and try to be well in constant touch with the organization like SWAN. Yes, dear Professor in charge.
Definitely, sir. We have noted all your suggestions. And I think we have a very vibrant legal aid society at our campus. And that society can be given this task of coordinating and liaising with SWAN. And we have a very rich and diverse student body. They come from different places with different backgrounds, with different educational backgrounds and moorings. So they can take up this challenge of coordinating with Swan and contributing meaningfully to this state in which we are. Thank you very much, sir. Yes,
Certainly.
Akash, are there any other? There must be some other questions.
I want to announce one information to all the participants. Dear all participants, due to shortage of time, we cannot take all the questions at right now, and we will request Professor Sanjay Paswan to come to our faculty for other lecture after the COVID-19. So please, due to shortage of time, we cannot elaborate it further. So on the behalf of Campus Law Center, now I would like to give the vote of thanks to Professor Sanjay Paswan.
My concluding remark.
Okay.
From poverty line to dignity line.
Okay.
From poverty line to dignity line, that will have to do it. And that we social scientists can do it. So our duty is much more now. Onus on us now. How that poverty line can be converted, can be transformed into the dignity line. Thank you.
Sir, I would like to thank for your valuable presence here. Sir, I must accept that you have very wonderfully explained the concept of pandemic and human rights. So you've also focused upon the issue of migrant labor and the policy of government by saying that government want to serve life first and then the livelihood. So you've also discussed the violation of different human rights in this COVID-19 situation. So you also tells us about the concept of the food nationalism and the concept of SWAN also. Thank you, sir, for your valuable presence here. Thank you, our professor in charge, sir, Professor Raman Mittal, sir, for the constant support he is giving to all of us for organizing these lectures. Thank you, sir. Thank you, everybody.
Okay, Akash, God bless you, Ramanji. God bless you.
Yeah, thank you very much, sir. And we are extremely thankful and feel blessed that you came and came online and took time out to address ourselves and our students and all dear friends that Professor Paswan touched upon the most important topics of food nationalism and who is responsible for this damage to our health sector. Then the important point that another important point that he made was that this is a problem not just for health workers or doctors. This pandemic has raised serious political, sociological, and economic issues, and only a concerted effort wherein all those scientists, social scientists, as well as doctors, they come together, and then only some solution can be found out. And it has raised huge labor issues, the migration of laborers, the trauma they have gone through, and such a migration in such big numbers, and what would happen to the industries and the agricultural sector, which is dependent upon migrant labor. As he has pointed out, that it will take some time for the migrant labor to return. So we have to take care of all these factors. It is not just a medical situation. It is an overall social situation. And we are extremely thankful to you, sir, for airing your views and guiding us on this. We'll definitely be in touch with Swan. And on behalf of Campus Law Center, on behalf of all the students and participants of this lecture, I once again thank you very much. And with an assurance from your side that you will again come online and offline also to our campus to guide our students and us. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you,
Thank you,
Ramanji.
sir.
Thank you, Akash.